Let's tank Portal Keeper Hasabel in Antorus, the Burning Throne, on normal and heroic difficulty. Now this fight's simple yet extremely fun to do. Probably one of my favourite fights in the instance, and the whole idea about this fight is at certain percentages portals will activate. You have a red, green and a purple portal. At set percentages of the boss's health they'll activate, you go in them, you kill the ad in there. Each one is a bit different. You come out, burn the boss, push the next portal, kill it, so on and so forth till the boss dies. So let's have a look at the boss in general and then we'll talk about the portals. So the main tank mechanic is called Reality Tear, and what this does, it's going to put a debuff on the tank currently tanking the boss, inflicting 816k physical damage every 2 seconds for 30 seconds, and it's going to stack. Now upon expiration the portal detonates with Bursting Darkness, and what this will do is it's going to inflict 350k shadow damage to all players for each stack of Reality Tear. So you don't want this to go too high because when it drops off it's going to blow up on the whole raid, dealing a lot of damage. Maximum stacks I'd say is between 4 and 5, but you want to taunt swap around 2 or 3. Now I say 2 or 3 because you may want to hold the boss a bit longer depending on what the boss health is at, and if you're going to need to do a taunt swap before the portal spawns because one tank needs to go in the portal to tank the ad. And if say you're at 3 and you don't do the taunt swap and then the other tank has to go up into the portal, then this tank's going to go higher and higher because it takes a fair while to kill each of these ads, as you'll see. So you want to make sure you taunt the boss fresh as the portal's spawning. The next ability is called Collapsing World, and what this is going to do, it's going to create a portal to a collapsing world, inflicting 2.1 million shadow damage to all players on the Nexus platform. Players within 28 yards suffer an additional 4.2 million shadow damage and are knocked away from the explosion. So to counteract this, you want to tank the boss on either the left or right hand side, preferably where you're not going to drop it on top of one of the portals. And when it spawns, you're just going to kite the boss to the other side of the room. The third ability the boss is going to do is called Fellstorm Barrage, and what this is going to do, it's going to put lines on the ground. You just need to stand out of them. If you stand in them, you're going to take 4.3 million fire damage, and it's going to knock you back as well. And the final ability the boss is going to do is she's going to open portals and summon ads. Now the longer the fight goes, the different types of ads come. So you get imps that need to be interrupted, Fell Touch Skitters, these just need to be killed. If they're not, they're going to put webs on people. And Hungering Stalkers, which pulls for 1.2 million shadow damage to everyone within 60 yards. And it'll also interrupt spell casting for 6 seconds. So pretty much all these ads need to be interrupted and killed as priority targets. So now let's have a look at the portals. There's 3 portals, as you'll notice. There's a red one, a green one and a purple one. And each one becomes active at different points of the boss's health. The fire one becomes active at 90% health, the fell one at 60, and the shadow one at 30. It's important that you know these and you're getting prepared to go into these portals, as if you don't have a tank there and other players are in there, the ad's just going to run riot and start killing people left, right and centre. So let's quickly have a look at each individual portal and go through little things you need to watch out for. Now when the fire portal becomes active, everyone in the raid is going to start taking 330k fire damage every 2 seconds, and this is going to increase by 3% every 3 seconds. So it's important that you're killing this portal as soon as possible, or else you're going to end up wiping just the amount of raid damage that will end up going out. As well as that, flames are going to start shooting out of the portal, inflicting 250k fire damage to all players every 4 seconds. Now in the portal, you're going to see an ad called Vulcana, and he has 3 abilities. The first being Flames of Zoroth. And this is basically an AoE around him for 10 yards. You just need to make sure you run out of it. If you don't, it's going to inflict 1 million fire damage immediately, with an additional 500k fire damage every second for 5 seconds. His second ability is called Supernova, and this is going to mark a location for a supernova which explodes after a short duration. The detonation inflicts 4 million fire damage to all players within 6 yards and knocks them into the air. His third ability is called Unstable Portal, and after 45 seconds after arriving in the world, the caster begins to rupture the portal, inflicting 3 million fire damage to all players. This effect increases all cast speeds by 20% and damage done by 25% for 12 seconds and stacks. And finally, you've also got Ever Burning Flames, which are going to stick to players, and they're going to inflict 700k fire damage every 2 seconds for 10 seconds. Upon being removed, the flames fall and remain on the ground. And this will give you Ever Burning Light, which players within 10 yards of the Ever Burning Flames are provided with Ever Burning Light, protecting them from the shadows of Nefriza, which is the third platform, which is basically a platform where you can't see. So these enable you to get a bit more vision in that platform. So it's just something to be wary of when you're going onto the third platform. Now basically this fire platform, as you've pretty much seen, is don't stand in pulses around the ad. and don't stand in stuff on the ground. It's pretty much a burn platform, nothing too complicated. There's a few abilities that might trip you up, but just don't stand in stuff. It's really obvious, as you'll see on the video, but nothing overcomplicated. Now for the green portal, it's pretty much the same as the fire one. As soon as it opens up, it's going to start inflicting 320k nature damage to all players in the Nexus every 2 seconds, and this effect increases intensity by 10% every 3 seconds. As well as this, the portal's going to continue to stream out damage upon the death of the ad, inflicting 303k nature damage to all players in the Nexus every 4 seconds. Now once again, there's just one ad in this portal, and that's called Lady Dacidian, and her abilities are Felsic Wrap, which is going to blast the player with webbing, inflicting 1.3 million nature damage. This stuns the target within the webbing and inflicts 260k nature damage every 2 seconds until it is destroyed, so you just need to swap to it and kill the web off. Then you've got Poison Essence, which is going to poison the health of all players within 70 yards of the Rancora platform, inflicting 10% of their current health as nature damage. This is just something for the healers to watch out for. And then once again, you've got the Unstable Portal, which after 45 seconds upon arriving in the world, the caster begins to rupture the portal, inflicting 3 million fire damage to all players. This effect increases all cast speeds by 20% and damage done by 25% for 12 seconds, and it stacks. So with this platform, once again, it's just burn the ad down as quick as possible, swap to the wraps, and heal up the Poison Essence. Again, really simple, nothing too complicated. Now let's have a look at the final platform. Now this platform has a bit of a gimmick like on Kill Jaden, where it goes like all dark and stuff, like a Shroud of Darkness. To counteract that, as I said, on the first platform you can get that fire debuff, or as you see what I did, I just didn't bother and went and tanked the ad. It's really silly. Like, if you're going to put a mechanic like that in, I feel like you should have to like maybe get the fire mechanic. Like, I didn't even realise you could do this until writing this guide or recording the guide, as I just went in there kind of blindfolded to this fight. So yeah, pretty funny. Maybe on Mythic it's more important, but for normal and heroic it doesn't really matter. You don't need to worry about the fire buff. You just go in, kill this ad, and it pretty much drops. It's probably the easiest platform to deal with. There's a lot of healing, however, to worry about. So let's have a bit more of a look at this platform. So once the Shadow platform activates, it's going to empower the portal, inflicting 320k shadow damage to all players in the Nexus every 3 seconds and reducing damage done by 1% for 4 seconds. This effect increases intensity by 10% every 3 seconds. As well as this, the portal's going to continue to stream out Shadow, inflicting 320k shadow damage to all players in the Nexus every 3 seconds. Now once again, there's one ad in the portal called Lord Iger. And once again, this ad has 3 abilities. The first being Delusions, which is going to deceive the mind of all healers within 35 yards, reducing their healing and absorbs done by 100%. The Lucid Dreams restore 2% of maximum mana every 1 second and lasts 10 minutes. Second ability is called Corruption, and this is going to corrupt players within 20 yards, inflicting 700k shadow damage and increases all damage they suffer by 15% for 4 seconds, and this effect is going to stack. And finally, you've got the Unstable Portal ability once again, which after 45 seconds after arriving in the world, the caster begins to rupture the portal, inflicting 3 million fire damage to all players. This effect increases all cast speeds by 20% and damage done by 25% for 12 seconds and stacks. Now on top of these 3 abilities, you've also got the ability called Mind Fog, which basically is just a shroud as I previously spoke about, and you can't really see. It's like the Kill Jaden shroud, you get like minimal vision. However, you can counteract this with the Fire Portals buff that I spoke about earlier. Now that's pretty much it for the like ability rundown of the fight. Now pretty much the strat is, as I've gone over, you kite the main boss left to right, and you go into the portals at the set percentages. Now, you need to make sure you have enough DPS on the outside to handle the portal ads that come out from the main boss, and then you've got enough DPS and healers in to handle the healing, and the DPS requirement, which is 45 seconds, as you've seen by that ability that each of the ad does. So you need to be getting enough DPS in the portals that's going to be able to kill the ad within a timely manner, and then enough on the outside to kill the portal ads, because you're just going to end up wiping from their casts and abilities. So just make sure you're balancing out right, you're getting the taunts right before you're going into the portal, so you don't get too many stacks of debuff. And this fight's really simple. It's one of my favourite fights, as I previously said. I hope you guys enjoy the fight as much as I did. Please like, comment and subscribe for more videos.